Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Boss Talk Tuesday with me, your favorite transformation coach, Angela Williams, aka Angela Motivates. I'm so super excited to have you guys join me today. You already know what to do. Spread some love by letting someone know that the video is here. Put your name in the comment section and let me know who you are and where you're viewing me from so that we can get connected. And also, if you are viewing me on replay, simply put hashtag replay. I also want to say welcome to the new subscribers on YouTube. I am at 500 subscribers and I'm super excited about that. And I will probably be doing a giveaway to celebrate those 500 new subscribers. So stay tuned for that. And also, one last thing before I get started with today's topic. I announced yesterday that I'm releasing my new candle line. I am super excited about that. I will hop on live to show you guys what the candles look like up close and personal, and I know you're gonna love it. Anyway, I'm gonna move right on into today's topic. So I want to talk to you guys about decluttering and how powerful decluttering is. So the power of decluttering. So when it comes to decluttering, we often hear a lot about why it's important to, clear out your physical spaces. But do we hear enough about how doing that one little thing really does affect our psychological spaces? So for instance, you go through your closet and you look at the clothes that you have in your closet. Maybe you have something in there from 5 years ago that you just hold on to because it brings back such great memories, even though you know you can't wear it right now. But when you look at that shirt or those jeans or that purse or whatever the case may be, you look at it and then you start to say, well, my life where it is today isn't as fun and as exciting as it was 5 years ago. When you look at that shirt pulls you in. It pulls you into that time frame of when you had an enjoyable time. And then you start to reminisce and then you start to compare it to where you are now. Well, now maybe you're in a challenge. So when you see that shirt, it's ministering to you a good time, but then your subconscious mind is on the current. It's on the challenge that you're currently facing. And then you see that the two don't mix or don't line up, and then you start to go into a space of negativity because you're like thinking, woe is me. The person that you once dated while you were wearing that shirt, you're no longer in that relationship. So do you see what I'm saying? Because that shirt is still there, every time you go into your closet to get something else, you run across that shirt, and then now you're in this negative space because you're thinking about the good time. You're thinking about how wonderful that time was, but then now you're finding yourself in this challenge, and right now it's not feeling so wonderful. That's why it's important to declutter, because you don't want to continue to think on the negative things, or you don't want things to remind you of negative things, because it could very well be the very opposite. You could go into the closet and you can see that shirt that you once loved, and then you could start developing a negative feeling or aspect about it because now you can't wear it. Oh, now I need to lose weight. I'm too fat. Oh my gosh, what was I doing 5 years ago? What was I eating 5 years ago? And oh, well, I know what happened. The reason why I'm eating so much now is because so-and-so such and such got on my last good nerves and I started overeating. So do you see what I'm saying? This is why it's important to declutter your physical spaces so that you can position your mind, your thought processes, your mental stability on opening up avenues for new things to come in. You don't want to look at things with regret. You want to be able to make space in your closet for something new. And you cannot make space for something new if there's something old occupying the space. So let me just break it down this way to put it in layman's terms. Everything about life is a cycle. They say life cycles, right? Everything about life is a cycle. Females have their cycles, right? Your hair grows in cycles. If we go through different seasons, it's a flow, it's a cycle. I guess you guys understand what I'm saying. So everything flows, energy flows, money flows. So if you have a blockage, nothing can flow. Okay? So this is the reason why it's important for us to declutter these old things. Even when you go to your, I remember when I was married, I had a very bad habit of not throwing out the expired seasonings. And my ex-husband would go into the cabinet and for some reason, he would always check the expiration dates. I don't know why, but anyway, he would look at the expiration dates and be like, babe, this is old and you haven't thrown it out. Like you're still using expired seasonings. And I'm like, okay, well, let's toss it out. But if it's expired, that means that it has come to an end, right? It has come to an end. It's not that the seasonings were going to harm us because it had an expiration date of XYZ. It just means that this expiration date is an indication or an indicator that the seasonings are not going to be as potent or as flavorful as they were when you first bought it, because when you first bought it, they were fresh. You know what I mean? So now it's not going to give your food the same, tantalizing flavor as it did when you first bought it, because now the shelf life, it's set there, it's kind of dull, or I really don't even know what the word to use, but it's not as fresh anymore. It's not as fresh. So therefore it has come to an end. So that's how you have to look at things that are lying around your house, your apartment. Some things have come to an end and you're still holding on to it. Some of you are holding on to dead things. So with that being said, here are some simple ways that you can start to declutter your life so that you can create space for things to flow in. Because some of you are really just been sitting there desiring to have more wealth, to have more, maybe more material possessions, or to maybe clear out your thought processes so that you can hear from God clearer or more clearly, or, just whatever the case may be. So here's a great way to start. Maybe sit down on a Sunday and write out what you're going to work on for that week. Maybe week 1, I'm going to spend time decluttering my closet. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to remove all of the old things that I can't wear, and I'm going to either donate them to someone else or I'm going to trash it. Because if you're walking around with shirts at home, like, how we like to dust with our little shirts that are raggedy and they have holes in it. Well, those holes are sending a message to your subconscious mind that's saying poor, cheap, poverty. Instead, maybe buy t-shirts that you can clean up in that doesn't have holes in it, because your subconscious mind don't know the difference between how much you paid for something, right? It just only knows, like, when you look at it, you're the one that interprets cheap. And so you feed that to your subconscious mind. But when you have something that doesn't have any holes in it, of course you're not thinking cheap. You know what I mean? You're thinking, okay, it's all put together. Just like with those paper plates that people like to put their food on the gram. They're doing it for the gram, and they're not realizing that they're signaling cheap to their subconscious mind. Why not just get some nice little china plates or some nice ceramic plates that you can get from like Marshall's that are inexpensive, and then just take the time out to wash it, to maybe get matching dishes. I remember when I was following my mentor, Jewel Tankard, one of the things that she said was to make everything match in like your dishes, like have matching sets that you use, because your subconscious mind sees that and automatically it puts it in a category of wealth. It puts it in a category of prosperity, because it sees it as a united front, so to speak. Not all mixed matchy, because when you have things that are mixed matchy, like you have this red cup with these white china plates, or, I mean, not that you can't decorate it. I hope you guys like really, see through what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that it's not okay, because you may have a set that is red and white. And so you may have like a theme going. And that's all I'm saying, is that make sure that you have some type of collection, a theme, not a mixed matchy plastic and ceramic, and you know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to say. And maybe have dinner on those nice ceramic plates so that you can create an atmosphere of wealth, an atmosphere of prosperity. Okay, so that's all I'm saying. So start with that week, deciding on where you're going to start. Maybe it's your closet, Maybe it's your kitchen. Maybe it's fixing the little projects around the house. If you have a doorknob that's, a little shaky, maybe you want to go ahead and tighten that up, because then you're communicating to your subconscious mind and your psychological space that you get the job done and that there's nothing broken in your atmosphere. And before I go, I want to share a story that Steve Harvey had mentioned about how he had wanted a new car, but he had this old car on cinder blocks in the driveway. So he would always go to his mom and say, "Mom, I'm going to get a new car." And she would be like, "Yes, son, you are. But what are you going to do about this old car that's on the cinder blocks in the driveway?" And then he said, "Oh, he would just make up an excuse or whatever." And so he would just go on and he would be like, "Yeah, Mom, I'm going to get this new car." He would always tell her he was going to get a new car. And she would always follow it with, "Yeah, son, but what are you going to do with this old one that's on the cinder blocks in the driveway?" And then when finally one day he was just like, "I don't know why she keeps asking me that, but I'm going to go ahead and move this car." And he said he moved it. He cleared off the driveway. He got rid of all the leaves and the trash that was underneath the car. And guys, it was maybe a month or two after that, or maybe longer, I can't remember. He got the new car because he made space for the new car. As long as the car was there, he couldn't make space for it. Where was he going to put it? And that's what his mom was trying to get him to see. Yes, you're wanting something new, but make space for it. Prepare for it. We're wanting a lot of things to flow into our lives, but we're not making any space for it. You desire to write a book, but are you making space for it in your mental, psychological processes? Or are you just sitting there thinking, "I don't know what to write about"? You know why? Because the energy in your space that you need to write in is cluttered. Guys, you're going to catch this. You're going to catch this. If your space is cluttered, then your creativity is not able to flow. So declutter your space so that the positive energy can flow in. Those creativity or creative thoughts can flow in so that you can get that book written. Okay? You guys know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, feel free to put your questions in the comment section. We can talk about it a little further. But in the meantime, get started decluttering your spaces so that you can actually usher in new things to replace the old. All right, that's all I have for today. I look forward to connecting with you on next Tuesday. As always, be blessed, be blessed, be blessed.